name is John. I'm the CEO of Acquire.Fi. We have Andrew and Nathan with me today. Exciting time, guys. We just broke all-time highs. People are very excited about the market at the moment. Despite the macro is looking quite bad, but like crypto keeps pumping. What's up? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like momentum wise, we've been kind of screaming like, hey, like things are, pretty exhausted in terms of like bear days, overbought conditions, yada yada. But the price just keeps steamrolling higher and higher. So clearly, the bulls are very strong. They're very active here. We did capitulate on these hash ribbon signals as well back down here. And then once we actually finally broke that all-time high the other day, we actually we actually got another buy signal on the hash ribbon signal now. So even in the face of like the momentum signals screaming kind of, maybe we need to kind of cool our jets a bit, prices are continuing to go higher. And we do have some higher objectives, like, have a FID extensions looking at around 114 right now. We just hit one at 110 just today. And that's off of this consolidation down here. So we are coming into the areas of of interest, of liquidity. I honestly don't know how much more we have left to keep going, or if we're going to pull back here. It seems like the market's just kind of just rolling over. Ethereum is lagging, obviously a little bit behind, but it is starting to slowly break out now. We do have a nice daily W. Double bottoms are always generally what we try to look for. And I think we are getting close to breaking these recent highs. And then, hopefully ETH can kind of slowly start climbing back up against these previous highs. And hopefully, like Bitcoin, it can eventually break all-time highs. With ETH pumping, obviously the altcoins are also going to do really well. This is the ideal situation, what we want to see. And then if we look over to our indexes, you can see the dominant stuff. A lot of the alt indexes are flipping to the bullish side. We got these really nice big W's, double bottoms coming in. Then also, if you look on the stablecoin dominance, which is the green bar, it is starting to break down along with the Bitcoin dominance. So what does this mean? It means that I think a lot of the money flow is starting to come back into the altcoins. And you can already see it. Like a lot of alts are like kind of like popping off. Yesterday they were rallying pretty well. You can look at hype. Hype is like broken to all-time highs. It's a pretty strong alt market in my opinion right now. I think personally, if you find any trades that are down against bottom of the range, it's got some double bottoms working, those are probably going to be your best bets.
I think you posted today some of the picks that you are picking.
Pardon?
Yeah, you picked some today, right?
I picked some a couple days ago. So I bought some more ENA recently. So I originally had a position down here. I saw this nice little daily consolidation, double bottom, kind of looking like a trend continuation type setup. Nice consolidation against the 38.2 fib level there. And then I also added to my Ondo. So I originally bought down here on that double bottom. And then I bought some more on this little double bottom. So now we're just watching these play out. Other than that, most positions I'm already just in already. I am looking at Barra right now because I do like Barra, just kind of, again, bottom against the range. We got some double bottoms coming in now. What else?
Man, you have a lot.
Yeah, like to be honest, like I'm not really looking to buy much. Like most of these things are like already positions in. So like I'm looking to like, hey, like let's start taking profits once we start getting into objectives, But like if you're really trying to hunt these trades, right? Like, just draw your fib ranges from the bottom to the top of the most recent pump. Then you want to just kind of look at these like fib levels, You can look for 38.2 first stop consolidations. These are typically your like trend continuation type setups. This is kind of like what you would look for. Or you could, if you want to come in cheaper, then you kind of hunt these reload zones, which is the 61.8 to 78.6 levels. And then those usually give you like, pretty good discounted entries there. So there's two ways to look at it. You can look at, these levels, or you can look at the 38.2s. And then ideally, you want to find some kind of daily W, some kind of double bottom, just like as we see right here. And then you just enter on that and see where it goes from there.
Well, thank God we have you to pick us some good trades here.
Yeah, I mean, like I was really fortunate to be able to pick up a lot of these bottoms, but we've been sitting in a lot of positions for like a good month now, like pretty much since April, really, right? Like, and that's the thing, is they're very slow. You have to just like patiently wait, sit, see what ETH and Bitcoin are doing. But overall, I think like the market's looking pretty strong right now. I wouldn't want to like chase Bitcoin or anything like that. Like I don't have any setups. I haven't had setups on Bitcoin for weeks. But in terms of altcoins, there are stuff that are looking decent. So again, if you got those double bottoms showing, I think those are your kind of safest bet.
Well, at least me and Nate have been lucky. I've been telling everyone I've been DCAing from 80 and 78K levels since, I don't know, 1 month ago, 2 months ago. So I'm pretty happy.
Nice. Very good.
At least I've been quite positive.
Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts? Are we going to continue to rip here? Are we going into price discovery on Bitcoin, or now that we've broken all-time high again, it's a little cool off, a little pullback because we've been.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to say because like there's like when we're back here, like like the momentum was showing like we need to correct, price continue higher, washed all the stops. Same thing happened here. We were very overbought. Bearish divs. We even had a capitulation in the hash ribbon, and then it just like washed all the shorts again and wiped everyone out. So I had a higher objective at 110, which we hit, and then I had one more fib extension around 114. So I think that's kind of where I'm looking for, kind of as like another stab. And then after that, like the real main ultimate level that I'm kind of looking at is like 133. That's like kind of like the chaos level. If we do get up there, that's kind of where, I would be kind of offloading a lot of my positions. But it's hard to say at this point. There's no real like setups for me to like, buy or sell. There's no double tops. There's no double bottoms. We're just kind of just moving along here. So for me, like I like to have setups. I like to have like conditions that all have to be met before I take a trade. So for me, I'm just kind of watching the market for now. And it's weird too, because like if you look at equities are actually correcting right now. So they're getting a bit of a correction as we speak. And generally these move together, equities and crypto. So I think now we're kind of maybe see a transition where crypto leads for a little bit, and then maybe equities has to play catch up. But should be interesting to see how this develops here.
I don't know. I'm seeing like the yields going up again, or at least every country is capitulating. Japan especially. Their basically yield trade is totally destroyed. So what does it mean? It means that they're trying to sell debt and no one is buying it. So the yield rates or rates are going up, which is never a good thing. And I think this is why basically equities are taking a little hit. But I'm happy to see like finally crypto is getting away from like TradFi. But I don't know. Yeah. I would be very careful not to do too much leverage. Again, I'm very happy with the prices, but usually June is not that great. I think we saw before this, we were talking like, hey, May and October And yeah, here we go. October, November are the best months, and June, July are like very bad, and September usually.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's quite odd because, like, you know, the old expression "sell May, walk away," but then May generally seems to be a pretty profitable month for Bitcoin, and then this year included, like we're going to be a pretty strong close to the month here. I think. I mean, you know, mind you, we still have like 7 days left, you know, till end of the month, but I'm pretty sure we're going to end up pretty positive here. And
Yeah,
then
but
if we
remember,
also
like,
look at like,
just
sorry.
a note. Yeah, just a note here. Like, remember, this is taking from 2011. Like, if you look at 2011, also, I think it's 2011, 2017, and 2019. That's like 200%, 69%, 62%. And then after that, it's been like not
Pretty
that great months, you know, like I think that's ruined that statistics. But obviously, like, hey, I don't know. May has been very positive, but it's not always been the case.
Yeah, yeah. Like these are just kind of like, you know, guidelines to see like, okay, what potentially could happen. Obviously, it's not going to predict anything, but like, you know, like even like my seasonality stuff, like looking at the jam barometer, like we have been kind of looking at this as like, look, we're supposed to have a pretty strong summer rally, all the way up until fall, realistically. So, you know, I think that's what we're seeing now in price action. Like, you know, crypto's been rallying pretty strongly. You know, we had that sell off in April, and we bottomed out pretty much here in May, and now we're just kind of chugging along. And I do think like this summer might actually be a little bit different, perhaps, and you know, we get a nice little continued rally. Even the tech sector seasonality stuff kind of points towards like, you know, if you look from like May till October, it's a nice, pretty, you know, like 5% increase in price action. So everything's pointing up right now.
Yeah.
Don't hate that.
Nathan, what's happening in the news side?
Oh man, I think the biggest news, everybody's just been looking at the price of Bitcoin going up and up and up. But before we get into that, just kind of wanted to give an intro. I know we've got a lot of new viewers coming in on the channel here. Tell a little bit about who we are and what we do. So if you're not familiar with Acquire.Fi, we're the largest mergers and acquisitions M&A platform in Web3. So essentially what we do is we help projects get acquired by other investors, by larger projects, you know, typical stuff you'd see more in the traditional, the Web2 markets typically. It's a quickly growing industry in Web3, a quickly maturing industry. I think you made a great post here. This kind of explains how and why M&A has really come to light in Web3. And it's because of the fact that we now have real businesses in Web3. Shocker. We have companies that are actually have a business model, have a revenue model, and are producing things. So in the M&A market right now, there's three kings. You need either TVL, you need users, or you need revenues. And there's a lot of really great companies out there right now that we have got that we're helping to get acquired. Great example of one right here. 95% profit margins, almost 600K in revenue, 30,000 members. I love the quote you said there, Jan. If this was a token, crypto Twitter would be going absolutely nuts. But it's not. It's a business, and unfortunately, you know, real business economics don't drive this market. It doesn't pump, doesn't get people excited for the next hyped coin, but it still can make you a lot of money. So if M&A, if acquisitions is something you guys have been interested in, feel free to reach out to us. It's a great company for 1.2 million. They've got $47,000 in profit a month. It's an exclusive trading Telegram. We've got 10,000 premium subs, high ticket courses, affiliate revenue. Again, this is a real business. We've got over 200 different assets on our platform. It could be a full business, traditional acquisition. It could be a tech acquisition. We do acqui-hires. We've got licenses, everything and anything, different sectors, launch pads. We've got DeFi opportunities, wallets, you name it, we've got on the platform. So if you are looking to grow your ecosystem through expansion, whether that's you know, acquiring new revenue streams, acquiring new users, acquiring new TVL, feel free to hit us up. Our website has a great contact form, or or you can reach any of us on Telegram or even on X. Happy to take a look at all the different opportunities we have in the acquisitions sector right now. So, yeah, if you're new, we've got a lot of new viewers coming on here. That's who we are and what we do.
Great one.
Yeah.
Good job.
We don't just get on here and talk shit about the markets every week. We actually have a real business behind what we're doing. So,
oh, interesting.
Just the funny statistics. This business is making more money than Cardano.
Nice. And it's way cheaper than buying Cardano.
And Cardano is worth what? 20 billion or 10 billion? I don't know.
However, I think the problem is, Jan, you haven't been sitting outside in the snow meditating in your kimono lately.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think if you do that, could turn things around here.
I know.
Well, there's a lot in the news. Obviously, Bitcoin new all-time highs. When you were looking at that consolidation period there on the charts earlier, people were getting pretty bearish. I wasn't necessarily bearish, but I was expecting a pullback. You typically don't see us rip from low 70s to $115,000 for Bitcoin without seeing some sort of correction. A correction is typically healthy at that point. So I was definitely one of those people that was expecting a pullback. Didn't get that, rip right through. Bears are wrecked once again. That's been kind of the highlight on crypto Twitter the last couple of days. Everybody just asking how high is it going to go. But there's been some other stuff. Probably the most breaking news here is not Joe Rogan, but it is the SUI hack. Andrew, I'm not sure if you are a little more familiar with what's going on here than me, but I saw last night, right before I went to bed, I saw a post, somebody making fun of a meme coin that went from a $70 million market cap to a $1 million market cap in minutes. I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, it's a meme coin. They do those kind of things. It's just, somebody rugged a major meme coin. Turns out it's a much bigger story. It had to do with the SUI ecosystem as a whole. Apparently, this wasn't just one meme coin. This was all tokens or many, many tokens across the SUI network just plummeting to zero, even USDC depegging to zero at one point on the SUI network. Do either of you guys know a bit more about what is going on here?
I personally don't. I just know that they're getting hacked last night. They came out saying that it was not a hack, it's a bug. But like, even if it's a bug, it caused the entire ecosystem to crash. Surprisingly, SUI price didn't fall that hard, but anything on the SUI chain pretty much died. So yeah, I don't know. I saw it pretty late last night before I fell asleep as well, and I was like, damn, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So SUI actually came out yesterday night and said it was hacked. So it wasn't a bug, it was actually a smart contract hack. And C2s, that is like where all the LPs are sitting, got drained. So if you were providing LP, so liquidity, you were basically drained. And C2s is like a platform for almost all different coins in SUI. So if you wanted to make a coin, for example, it's a similar functionality than Uniswap. So basically, it's a LP. It's a, what do you call it? Help me out here, guys.
An AMM pool?
AMM, yeah, exactly. And this AMM got hacked. And that meant that all the coins went basically to zero, which is never a good thing.
No, I mean, we've seen protocol hacks in the past, or bridge hacks, or centralized exchange hacks. This is a bit different in the sense that it's affecting so many other projects. I can't think of a hack. I mean, obviously FTX, Celsius, things like that. But not in this bull run, we had a hack that it didn't just really affect primarily one token. This is affecting, it seems like, dozens of tokens. This is going to be a mess to figure out. I mean, fortunately, SUI does have a pretty good treasury from what I understand, but getting all, just because you put the liquidity back, just because you refund projects that got hacked, doesn't restore that project to where it was before the hack. If you're sitting in, if I was in Lofi, this meme coin, and I watched it go from 70 million to 1 million in 5 minutes, like, I'm not going to be too excited to reinvest there. just because they put liquidity back on the chain. I mean, it's not going to immediately go back to 70 million. So he's going to have some major reputational damage that they're going to have to figure out here as a leading L1 to get projects attracted back to their network, but more so to get users back. That's always a fight with these L1s is TVL and users. This is going to be detrimental to their TVL and users. Like this is a major issue. 223 million is not that much money for an ecosystem like SUI. They can replace that money, but they can't fix reputation. They're not just going to be able to bring that TVL and users back overnight.
I think good to remember, they have similar tokenomics to Mantra, and basically SUI team, they own most of the supply. So obviously, like why it didn't dip that much is because they have so much the supply control. And also another thing, they are from San Francisco, usually US-based or SF-based startups in crypto. They have a lot of money behind them. Obviously, you're totally right. It's going to be very hard to get normal people back. This is never a good thing. And I don't know really like what was the smart contract failure or hack there, but like definitely not a good thing.
No, yeah, you see a little better look at some of these charts here. Down, AXO. I'm not familiar really with any of these tokens. Looks like a lot of tokens and stuff. But I mean, down 90%, 93%, 88%, 80%. Like when you have this many projects that just dump to zero, like that's just gonna hurt your user base so badly. It's gonna be very difficult for these guys to recover. Gonna be rough for SUI going forward here.
Yeah,
a lot of angry project founders.
Yeah.
Well, we know about people also, right? Like who's gonna? They're not gonna be compensated or anything else. Like basically, a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna replace the project liquidity, but the people that had invested in these tokens are boned, dude. Like there's not much. There's not much they can do. You can't just reset the price back to where it was previously and carry on like before. Like you probably just drop 90% in a matter of minutes. Like there's no Band-Aid for that.
No.
I mean, and for some of these projects, I mean, that can be months and months and months of work of building up your chart slowly, of doing careful marketing, market making, bringing the right people on board, making sure you're building a good community, and then having a protocol hack that just decimates your entire community overnight and ruins months and months of work. That can just be absolutely devastating as a founder. I think people realize it can be very, very, very difficult working in this industry, especially for the founders, all the pressure they're under. I'd imagine a lot of these coins just kind of give up after this.
Yeah, brutal.
Rough. Always be, that's one of those things, man. That's something you guys, nothing can be avoided there. It's not something that, we can do smart contract audits, but when your entire protocol gets hacked.
Well, that's what they say. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, always, spread your risk. Don't play with money that you're not willing to lose.
Yeah. I guess I was talking more from a founder's perspective. I mean, I'd just be absolutely gutted. Literally nothing to do with your project. You just picked the wrong network to deploy on.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're a legitimate project, though, I mean, I'm sure you would still keep pushing forward, still, try to figure a way to create revenue. Because, this usually after exploits and stuff like this, you've seen recoveries, right? Like there's chances still for things to come back. If anything, if you're like a really like scalping type trader, like there might be some really good discounts out there right now.
Likely.
But
no, obviously, usually these are very good trades. Like it bounced pretty heavily, and we had 390 now with SUI. But yeah, like I do agree. Like don't keep all your crypto in one basket, and obviously own BTC. BTC is very safe. It can't be hacked. It's been here for more than 10 years. And if you are doing self-custody, remember all the don't share anything online.
Yeah. Put your private keys in a bank safe or something. Like keep it all offline.
Yeah. There was a story just a earlier this week of a guy in London, I think, got drugged in the back of an Uber, and they stole like $130,000 worth of Bitcoin and crypto from him. Now, why he was, I don't know. They didn't give enough details. I just kind of read the headlines. I don't know if he was carrying his ledger with him in the taxi, or if they then kidnapped him or what. But be careful out there, especially if you're in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, Europe is like getting crazy these days. I keep seeing articles like people getting robbed and like kidnapped.
Not good.
Yeah, super scary.
some more, I guess. I don't know. I can't see this being a bad thing, so I guess we'll call it a positive news. Crypto native platforms like Kraken and Bybit both going to be offering stock purchases now. I can imagine some degens wanting to get a few of these. I don't know. Like, do we have a lot of degens? A lot of people that are trading crypto that specifically came to these platforms for crypto that are gonna take their money out of Bitcoin to go buy Apple or Tesla right now.
I don't know about like converting Bitcoin, but I know like a lot of crypto traders that aren't from the US that want to buy, US stocks, but they can't. So depending on how like strict these guys are going to be with the KYC and who can actually buy these stocks, if they actually do allow non-US customers to buy these, I could see this being a huge market because again, like I know a lot of people out here in Asia that like, want to buy Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, etc. Right?
Well, I suppose I don't know how the laws work, but they are tokenizing these stocks, so it's not the actual stock. So I don't know how a lot of times they have loopholes like that where they can kind of worm around the legality by changing it in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there are no restrictions on who can own the tokenized version of these shares. I don't know how that works. If Kraken itself has a U.S. entity that is technically holding the Tesla or whatever other share it is, and someone's buying a mirrored tokenized version of that, that might be a loophole where they can offer it to anybody.
Yeah, maybe like a voucher.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the bigger play here is that we are going to a society where everything works 24/7. Obviously, crypto has been trading 24/7 for a while now. People that started like 10 years ago, like me, we've grown up quite a lot. Like I'm 35 now. I think there's a lot of OGs in the same age. They have kids. They understand more like the financial markets. And basically, crypto is integrating into TradFi. Like, it's kind of funny. We started with like being against traditional finance markets, and now we're starting to integrate more and more. Where this is going, I don't know. Hopefully, in a good sense, but I don't know. I just feel like we are going out of the narrative that we were against. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but yeah, there's a lot of degenerates that want to trade stocks, especially if you are abroad, if you're European or something else. Usually it's very hard to onboard into different exchanges. And if you can trade something anonymously or through another exchange, that would be good. But I don't know. I think we're going into a society that is 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, RWA is not going to be stopped. I mean, it's going to affect, and I think that's something that when we think RWA right now, a lot of the projects we see, it's like real estate stuff. Real estate, I think, has a lot of potential with RWA, but there's a lot of hurdles to overcome, and there's so many different jurisdictions and whatever, and that will be a big market. But just the U.S. stock market alone is $90 trillion. Like that's one. I mean, obviously it's the biggest in the world, but like that's $90 trillion that has the opportunity to come into Web3. Like people that are still thinking they're late to this to crypto. People that are thinking they you don't want to invest because Bitcoin's already at $112,000. Like there's a hell of a lot more coming. It might not be this cycle, but within the next decade, like everything, all the traditional assets, hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of assets from around the world are going to be put on chain. So I have a feeling we're going to be going higher.
For sure.
Definitely not too late. So get that out of your head if you're new here. Yeah, probably one more big piece of news here. The big beautiful bill passes the House of Representatives. I believe now it's headed on to the Senate. to get approval, at which point then Donald Trump will have the opportunity to sign it into law. Personally, I think there's some good and bad in this bill. I hate these giant, where they put one bill that's got 1,000 different things in it because it's always filled with pork and nonsense and kickbacks and all sorts of corruption and money changing hands. But there is a few good things in here. However, overall, I think it's long-term bearish for the U.S. Short-term, very bullish for markets. Essentially, this bill is cutting taxes and increasing spending. That sounds like a perfect opportunity for money printing and numbers to go up. However, increasing our national debt by another $20 trillion, it's going to have consequences in the long term. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on this. I think short term, this is setting up for even more market pumps for Donald Trump's term. But long term, it's a little concerning.
Yeah. What's this Golden Dome? I'm hearing like they're building another wall or something.
Golden Dome will be like a missile defense system.
Yeah. Interesting. So kind of like in Israel.
Meant to protect against everything from missiles launched from space to ICBMs to
the Mexicans.
Mexicans, exactly. Intercontinental ballistic Mexicans.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So that's interesting. Pay raise for the ICE and Border Patrol agents.
So yeah, that's the thing. Why do we have a bill that is adding in legislature to cut taxes on tips and overtime, and also for funding for a border wall? Like, shouldn't those probably be on two different bills? I don't know. That's just me. But overall, the fact is, cutting a number of different taxes, locking in 2017 tax cuts, and they're increasing spending massively in certain sectors with this bill. So typically when we see more government spending and less taxes, we see a lot of green dildos on charts. I would expect before too long we're gonna see that Fed pivot, and we're gonna get money printing as well, and it's off to the races at that point. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts are over on the bill, but I think if we're purely looking at this from a number go up standpoint, this will have a positive impact on the markets over the next couple of weeks and months here.
Yeah, let's see when Fed cuts interest rates, right?
Yeah, we will see when Jerome Powell pulls his head out of his ass and finally gets around to cutting those rates.
Yeah, I think we have one more news, then I have to unfortunately go.
What, you got another story for me? That was the last one I got here today.
Oh, that was the last one. Oh, fuck.
That was it.
Well, very good time. We had 30 minutes. This is nice.
Good time, yeah.
Nice.
On the money.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
No, it's as usual. Thanks for watching. I know we've been bringing a lot of new viewers onto the channel, learning about what we're doing. If you're here to see if you're here to get the chart and the analysis, welcome. Leave us a comment. Let us know if there's some charts you want us to take a look at in the future, or a different type of TA or what do you call those, indicator you want us to look at. If you're here for the general market updates, again, let us know some news stories or some interesting topics you want us to cover in the future. And if you're new here, just kind of check out what's going on. If you're interested in the OTC or M&A game, on our website, we have a form you can fill out, buyer or seller, and we'll get in contact with you and let you know what opportunities there are in the space.
Awesome.
Cool.
No, I got nothing to say. I was just, have a good weekend. Be careful out there. Don't chase the tops. Don't top blast anything. Play within your risk. Try to
crank up the leverage.
Trade with trading setups. And yeah, man.
All right. Got to get on some calls here. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next week.